LEGO Knights Kingdom 2 is an extremely, and I might even go as far as to say it is criminally underrated as a sub-theme of LEGO Castle. In this video, we're going to journey back to the early 2000s, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I personally think LEGO Knights Kingdom 2 is underrated and is one of the best LEGO themes of all time. First, I'll give you some background. Back in 2006, my parents bought me my first LEGO set, and as a 6-year-old at the time, I was already interested in medieval things, and I was regularly watching things like Lord of the Rings. I even watched Return of the King in theaters. So, because of that, my first LEGO set was none other than the Mistlands Tower of the LEGO Knights Kingdom 2 theme. With that being said, I'm definitely biased, but I'm going to try to convince you with these 3 reasons as to why this is actually a great theme. Reason number 1 for me is characters and storyline. This theme was out for 3-ish years, from 2004 to 2006, and in that time LEGO came out with 14, that's right, 14 named characters for this theme. That's more than any other castle sub-theme, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Side note, my personal favorite character was Sir Adric. No reason, I just like the color red a lot growing up, and I know you might say, well, what about Santis? No, Adric was in the first set I ever got, so I'm sticking with him. Outside of the characters, LEGO even made an entire storyline for this theme, with every set fitting into the story. The knights go on a quest to save the kingdom from going under Vladic's rule, and it's just so captivating to me. I don't know if LEGO will ever recreate this, but with all the castle sets that they're coming out with now, with the different, throwbacks to other sets, I think that LEGO is cooking something up. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. For my second reason, I'm going with the builds and the play features that each set came with. Outside of the buildable figures, which I've never been a fan of personally, LEGO dropped 22 regular sets for this theme. These range from, they had the classic poly bags to the castles of the theme, with all of the big sets having unique play features, and the most notable in my opinion being the Citadel of Orlan. And this set, was one of the original in the 2004 wave, but despite it being one of the earlier sets, the play features I think were unmatched. You have the bridge feature, you have the wall at the tower, among others. But outside of the play features, I think the biggest complaint that I've heard with this theme is that LEGO used big and bulky pieces, and my rebuttal to that is just LEGO was experimenting. This was a time where Bionicle was on the shelves, and LEGO was trying to cut costs to some places and use less for designs, like kind of doing a less is more approach. And I personally don't mind the big pieces. I think that if you're making MOCs nowadays, they're good to kind of hide things. But yeah, no, I think the play features and the builds are very unique and something that we haven't seen since. And for my final reason today, it's going to be the nostalgia and the collectible value that this theme brings. I know this doesn't pertain to the sets when they came out, but I know there are LEGO collectors like me in their 20s that grew up with this theme. Outside of Knights Kingdom 2, we didn't get much for LEGO Castle during our childhoods. Sure, there was the fantasy era, which I'll cover in a future video, but LEGO put an abnormal amount of effort into this theme, and it shows even 20 years later. As for the collectible value, trying to get these sets will cost you a pretty penny today, especially if you're trying to get them all sealed in box. One set that is a huge example of this, and an outlier due to other factors, but an outlier is Vladic's Encounter, which retailed at $9 back in 2004. Today, that same set sealed in box will cost you at least $54. That's at least the cheapest one I've seen sealed in box on Bricklink, which is a 6-time increase in value. And used sets without minifigures are a lot more attainable if that's the route you want to go and you already collected the minifigures outside of that. But that's my 3 reasons, and I hope that I've been able to change your minds. But with that being said, LEGO Knights Kingdom 2 is one of my favorite castle sub themes of all time, one of my favorite Lego themes of all time, and I hope that I can spread a little bit of light and deflect some of the hate that this theme unfortunately gets. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.